Don't get sad if nothing happens, though.
I will not be sad if nothing happens.
Okay. And if your tooth hurts, I've got stuff for it. It's an old something. The teeth, no. Are you waiting for somebody to park in that spot?
No, I'm just waiting for Erin, really. I think we all are.
It's gonna waste your money.
Yeah, well.
Ah, here's my gun. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Sorry if I was singing. I like to sing.
Oh, feel more than free to sing.
Well, I don't like singing in front of people. Even though I do karaoke. You wanna come?
Yeah, why not?
It's Winter Fresh.
Flourish is a good brand. It is a brand, right? Thank you.
Beginning of the trip,
Yeah.
gate goes up. The gate of destiny.
I want to be the beginning of the trip. The beginning of the trip was me singing.
Out of order. Oh, it's just up. Perfect. Yes. Don't have to pay.
What? Can I see an overall of that? Oh, I'm not doing that.
No. We actually should plug in the address of the...
Oh, we got it. I'll just take the one from 34th floor east.
Okay.
We'll default to the 210. I'll tell you the rest.
I don't think that fit in front of us is supposed to be in the carpool, right?
Let's find out, shall we?
Nope. Oh, he could have a baby.
It's possible. I'm not going to use presumptuous.
You can't call the Sacramento ones if you're in that city or state. Like, since we're in California, if you see a lot of Californians,
Okay, that's not the game I tried showing you.
no, what did you show?
I tried showing you the alphabet game where you start with A's and you have to either find the letter on the license plate or is the first letter of a word. Like you could not do A for Honda, but you could do A for Altadena, and then B for Boulevard, C for carpools.
Police reported ahead. What the heck is that? Oh, no, I don't care.
It's always fun when you're trying to find a Q or an X.
Stupid Californians.
Yes.
Stop getting California.
Hey, we can't help it. We have plates from where we live.
My papa doesn't live in, what's it called again? South Dakota. Like, he can get his license like that. I think his mom, like, Idaho. I don't pay attention to old people. Nevada! Yes! Thank you, Nevada. Okay, boy. Ooh! Oh, Wyoming! I think that's what I was. Ow. Oh, my stomach hurts. Ow. I don't like traffic. On the bike that you're going slow and it's easier for me to find places. He's a boy.
Well, I can tell you that we will be trying to not drive slower.
Although I'll tell you one thing.
What?
Traffic works much better when you're playing Pokemon Go. So you get to hatch eggs that way. So as long as this thing loads, when it feels like it, we should be good to go.
I thought he might. What?
Think it's more data, or did the servers crash again?
Probably the servers.
Yeah, Because I heard they were down earlier today. I saw someone post, or maybe that was yesterday.
Oh, there he goes. Beautiful.
Idaho. Wait, am I the only one playing?
No, I clearly am playing too.
Yeah, what are those?
There's one from Texas.
Go quick, aw.
The CRV.
The window's hot. I'm flashing my face so much.
Then don't do that.
What if it's good? Hey, what did you get for stickers? Stickers.
Ugh.
It's the chocolate.
You smell it, or you're just repeating this?
No, I smell it.
It's not my butt this time, I swear.
It could be someone's socks.
No, I don't wear socks.
It smells like something.
No,
Why did you open up the cup?
because I need to put my tongue in
Ah! Not the one with the puppuccino?
it. No, it's my hot chocolate. I had coffee yesterday
I guess
and then
it's curdled milk.
Yeah, I had coffee yesterday and then I had hot chocolate and then I had a cappuccino. Wanted, come on. Moto. Ooh, he's baddie, McBaddins.
What?
No.
I don't know.
Well, I want to see the picture again. Ooh, I want the blue one. The blue. The blue one.
I think we should put you through a sugar detox.
What's the sugar detox? Ooh, McDonald's.
They have centers in Malibu for that. Wow.
They have what?
They have centers in Malibu for that sort of thing.
Really?
Yes. Sugar detox.
Huh.
What are those?
That means that you're put on a diet with little to no sugar
Oh my gosh.
for an extended period of time so that your body no longer contains this sugar and decreases its chemical dependency on
What if
sugar.
I just poop all of the sugar out?
Yeah, that's what will happen during a detox. You'll
Just don't do it in Aaron's car. Or my car.
0.8 miles. Exit to exit 45. State Route 57 South, Santa Ana.
Thank you.
Wait, so you have more than one car?
No, I just had that one. It's at home now.
Now my hands smell funky. I need to blow my hands. I don't know if I'm gonna go to sleep or not. I'm hungry. Oh my gosh, my anxiety.
Wow, you are really hyper right now, Bray.
And ooh, that's snow on the mountain. I'm gonna weave my way through like magazine.
Okay.
Do you and Newman,
Yep.
do you get Wager with magazines too?
What? Oh, Ranger Rick. I remember those.
Hi.
Yes, hello to you too. Yes, I remember Ranger Rick.
I like Wager.
They're a good memory from my
Oh
youth.
my gosh, look at this weird pen. Oh, it's so cute.
That's a red panda.
It's so cute.
It is cute. I agree.
Oh, look at see what
What does that imply? Ah, that is good.
She's good enough.
Very good. Very Wildesque.
Look at that balloon. Ew, Batman.
Doctor?
Yeah.
Nah,
Nobody plays one on TV.
that is true.
You're famous?
Yes, but only because Aaron says so.
Are you rich?
What?
Are you rich?
Rich?
Yeah.
Yes, but only in my imagination.
Was that 4 years ago now that we drove Cindy back to LA?
Yeah, I think it was 4 years ago. That was a good time.
Why?
Do you know, have you ever seen the movie Tron? Tron.
T-R-A?
T-R-O-N.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Have you seen
I'd seen the other one.
Caddyshack? Okay. So then you will not get this conversation. Suffice to say that we drove one of the actresses back home. It was a very nice experience.
Did you hang it up?
Did what?
Did you hang it up?
Yeah, I declined the call. Sent him a voicemail.
Who's Agent Smith?
Mr. Anderson. I have a few questions for you. I actually don't remember the exact scene. It's been way too long since I've seen The Matrix. Although I did just buy them, so we may have to watch them soon.
Good.
You should never take pictures and videos of anybody because they might commit a crime.
Actually, wouldn't that be helpful if you took pictures and videos of them?
See, someone committed a crime. Just kidding, it's an ambulance.
They're coming to take me away, haha. They're coming to take me away. Haha, hee hee ho ho, to the happy home. Crazy. They said I was crazy. So they gave me a jacket. With
Oh,
really
look,
long
there's
sleeves.
Starbucks.
And put me in a room with padded walls.
There's Starbucks up here.
And the doctor talked to me for hours on end. Because he said I was crazy. Crazy? He said I was crazy. Wow, look at these hills.
Yes.
Are you buckled in, Bray?
Sadly, yeah.
Oh, man. Those hills weren't as fun as I thought they might be.
Cappuccino, I have a headache. I have a headache. I've got a headache.
Bray, you're giving us headaches.
Whee! Oh, that hurt my stomach. I've still got What if I had to get shook? Almost had to get shook.
Oh, I would have been down there even faster.
Why?
Because you're important to me.
My mommy isn't.
Well, clearly she is, because I drove down there.
Would you drive down if I was in the hospital?
Of course, that's what I just said.
Not your mom was so
If you look to your left, you'll see the city of Temecula sign. It was built by 3 midgets and a giraffe.
Seriously, why do you videotape everything?
Because I like to. It's part of the adventure. Yes.
Well, now you can see the stupid people driving. Like, the stupid people that could cause accidents.
Are you okay back there, Bray?
No. Oh my gosh. I found the lock. It's in my butt.
Bray.
I'm not kidding. Oh, can't get it.
Teddy boy?
Billy.
Conan pops on the trolley. Is this new or has it been this way?
It has always been this way.
Okay.
So it's pre-registered.
And it's only professional.
Where do you go if you need to add child badge is the question.
I think it's Pokémon GO.
No, that's on Sunday.
I'm so scared of how the Pokemon catchers are going to be out here. Jumping out in traffic. Running into everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, it is 11:52 and we are heading towards Seaport Village in San Diego. Since it's Comic-Con, but everyone's searching for Dratinis and Squirtles here at Seaport Village in the Embarcadero Park. So we're going to see if it pans out for us, okay? Let's find out.
Where I'm at, like my location on the map.
There's some crazy gym fighting going on right here. Looks like it's over. Oh, there it is.
When you're like,
Hey guys. Hi. Have any of you caught a Dratina around here?
Dratini? If you walk that way and keep going near the midway,
I saw one down there.
near the midway, yeah, there's a Dratini down there.
Okay.
Like I just caught one down there.
Okay. Thanks.
Ramen.
And that is the USS Midway, where in its vicinity supposedly is the Dratini nest. So we're gonna check that out. What a beautiful ship. Very nice. No Dratinis in sight though.
Thank you. So,
Hi.
Is your room key in your backpack?
yeah. Oh, yeah, I do. Why do you videotape everything?
That's what I do. Arch, are we heading this way? Hey. This way.
I gotta go to my car. We have to get some stuff out of it.
Okay.
So you're on the street?
Yeah, we're on the street.
Okay.
All right. See you later. Bye.
So I don't know if any of you noticed, but Chris Hardwick mentioned that on Twitter when he found out that we moved it to Hall H, he kind of gave a mention basically, hey, if you guys need a moderator, let me know, because obviously Chris Hardwick does a lot of panels in here. And by the name tag, I'm guessing you guessed what they told him. So with that, I know we're really excited for Niantic to be here, so let's get it going. And with that, I'm going to introduce the moderator for most panels at Hall H. And there's a reason why, Mr. Chris Hardwick. Team Mystic! I am honored to be here and thrilled. There's a lot we're going to talk about. We'll talk about Ingress. We'll talk about stuff that's coming up in Pokemon. We're going to reveal some things to you. And so I'm glad you're here, and I'm very honored to introduce to the stage the head of Niantic, John Hanke!
And I had the really wonderful opportunity to help build out Earth and Maps and Street View and that set of products at Google for about 7 years with tremendous support from Larry and Sergey and Eric. And it was one of the most fun, amazing periods of my life. But after having done that for a number of years, I wanted to try something different. And as somebody who grew up with video games, every time I looked at a map, and for a lot of other people too, you sort of kind of imagine it as a game. At least we did. So we decided to start up a group inside of Google, kind of a little skunkworks thing. We called it Niantic. And we wanted to experiment with mobile phones and mapping and discovery of new places and gaming and see if we could mix those ideas together and come up with something interesting. So that's what we've been doing.
And so what is the origin of Niantic? What is the name? What does it mean?
Yeah, so Niantic, it was kind of a code word in the beginning. No one was really supposed to understand what it meant. But our whole thing was, there's a ton of interesting information about what's out there, all the little hidden secrets and cool things about the city you live in or your neighborhood. It's all out there on the internet. Sometimes it's really hard to get to. So we wanted to build applications that would help you find these kind of neat little nuggets. Like in my case, Mark Twain visited the park in the little neighborhood that I live. And it's on a little historical marker that nobody reads. So it's this sort of secret, undiscovered information. So the Niantic is actually kind of a secret in San Francisco. It was a whaling ship that came to San Francisco during the gold rush. At that time, everybody was like flooding to San Francisco to go find gold, and nobody was leaving, so these ships were just like piling up in the harbor. And the Niantic was one of those, and they dragged it on shore because they didn't have any lumber to build stuff out of. So they used the ship for, it was a hotel, it was a bar, I think it was a brothel at one point. It had this really kind of interesting history to it. And then modern day San Francisco got built up on top of these old ships. So it's actually buried underneath modern San Francisco, right near the Transamerican Pyramid, and there's like a little plaque there.
Brothel boat. I know we have a cultural responsibility to make sure that we don't get sucked in, because the internet is we're all connected via the internet, but it's also very isolating, and also it takes a level of humanity out when you're interfacing with a machine and you're interfacing with text. And I think one of the great things about coming to San Diego is it is, one of the few great in-person social experiences that a lot of us might have outside of the workplace throughout the year. So what responsibility do you think people have to, hey, you really need to go out and interact with other people and connect with other humans?
I don't think of it as a responsibility, but I mean, how many of you Go players out there have played with a friend or even met somebody new while you were playing the game? Just raise your hand. I mean, I think that's just an amazing experience, and it actually makes you feel good. Scientists have studied it, and interacting face-to-face with other human beings actually releases endorphins, and it makes you happy. So yeah, that's what it's all about.
I'm a Gen X person. I'm Gen X. I'm Grandpa Gen X already, and I meet, I have friends who are millennials, and God bless you, millennials. Make eye contact when someone's talking to you. Just look them in the eye. It's all right. I talk to people sometimes and they're just like this and they won't, and so I honestly, I hope that part of the AR experience will give everyone something that they need. It will give them this kind of real world interactivity. So was that really part of the underlying principle behind everything, and that's something more that you want to keep exploring?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we started kind of exploring that concept with an earlier game that we did called Ingress.
Yep.
I don't know if there are any Enlightened or Resistance members out there, but yeah. So that game's been going for 3 years and is bigger than ever at this point. In fact, after the Go launch, it shot up even higher. And we were trying to explore this idea of a game that encouraged movement, seeing the cool places in your neighborhood, and interacting socially with other people. And I mean, you guys are all here at Comic-Con, so you know what it's like to meet people who think about the same things as you do. You can strike up conversation. But then we go back home and we kind of go back to our normal lives, and it's a lot harder to do that. So we think of our games as kind of like a Comic-Con that's happening in your neighborhood sort of all the time, whenever you want it to. We have put on big events for Ingress. We just finished one in Tokyo last week where we had over 14,000 people attending live, so not nearly as big as Comic-Con. But, it is a joyful, exciting, fun experience to get together with other people, and I think games can do that. There's no reason we can't use games to cause that to happen spontaneously or in an organized fashion. Traditionally computer games and video games were played at home on a console just because the technology had to be plugged into the wall. And for a long time you needed to plug into the wall to even get internet. But now that we can carry all that around with us with smartphones and who knows what kinds of wearable devices or glasses will come in the future, that can move around with us, and it can, instead of chaining us to our living room, it can enhance just going outside and being human beings and having fun.
Plugging into the wall for internet. I feel like the first 4 rows doesn't even know what dial-up is. They don't even know. If you were like, hey, what's this? They'd be like, are you okay? They wouldn't know.
They used to work like
that. We used to connect a 2400 baud. It's true. Yeah, 14.4. Oh, all right, Your Highness. I think the most amazing thing about it has been how quickly I've seen so many different people. I live near a hiking trail, a park, and there's a bunch of stops. And I'd never hiked up to the Griffith Observatory before, and I've lived in that neighborhood for years. And this was the first thing that got me to go hike. And when it got me to rub the crust out of my eyes and be like, what is nature, And so as I'm walking, I see, by this stop, I see all these 19-year-old teenagers, just fully tatted up, hardcore looking kids,
I'm already like, get off my lawn. I'm already like, get off my lawn. But they're all playing, but then like 50 yards up the hill, it's, you know, like a couple in their 50s is playing. And I see people playing with their kids. And I see, you know, if you see on social media, everyone, like you guys have some screen caps of celebrity tweets from everyone who's been involved. Yeah, the Mr. Robot folks are playing, and I think Trevor Noah, Jimmy Fallon. Oh, yeah, this was a great tweet, because this made me realize that the Pokemon spawns are regional, basically, because I wasn't getting bats. I'm like, oh my god, I would give, you can have 100 Sandshrews. I want one friggin' Zubat would be great. What are you bitching about, Fallon? So they are the first couple of days, because I know I would see people get upset and be like, I can't get on, and I had trouble getting on too, and your team tweeted back at me and they're like, we're working on it, and I just sort of understanding, you know, all of a sudden I was shouting at someone the way that people shout at me about things that I don't entirely control. I don't know who Negan killed, I don't. And so, you know, I understood, oh, well, they expected it to do well, but I don't think you can't predict this kind of viral quality to something. So I assume you guys were just like, what the shit? You know, like you're just trying to figure it out right away.
Totally calm. I saw, yeah, there was a little excitement running around the office for sure. But for us, more than anything, as you mentioned, just to go out in the street, I mean, we had that experience. I had it in my neighborhood. Our local park was flooded with middle schoolers and high schoolers playing Pokemon GO. People walking the streets of San Francisco. It's so amazing to see, and you know, I credit that. The game is the game, but the game's really an excuse to go outside and walk around and see your city and have fun with other people, and that's.
But it's already, yeah, it's already created. You know, whenever I go to a stop, I see other people there, I instantly have something to talk to them about. Hey, did you find this? Did you catch this? How are you guys doing? And I go to this diner every morning for breakfast, and there's a dude, a real hard-looking dude who kind of seats people, and he's like a shaved head. He just looks hard. He just looks like a, you know, dude. He's a hard dude. I'm not. I'm feeble, and so I'm eating, but I'm kind of playing at the same time because I just drop lures at the stops across from the diner, and then I just rake them in. You know, always drop a lucky egg, double up the XP, and then just like level up. You know, I'll buy the eggs because I have a good job and I don't care. I'll just buy them. I'll just buy like 1,000 eggs. Like I don't give a shit. I'll use them.
And by the way, if this feels unrehearsed, it's because yesterday we were supposed to practice this, and Chris spent the first 10 minutes catching a Pikachu. So,
oh, you know why? The Pikachu showed up the second you walked in the room. I was like, you're magic!
But this is supposed to rehearse.
But this dude, well, you can't rehearse these. This dude at the diner, he saw me playing, and he looked around, and he goes, hey man, there's a shit ton of Pokemon at Santa Monica Pier. And I'm like, oh my God, you know? And we'd never said 2 words to each other, and now this guy and I like have a friendship, like we bonded over this. So, and I don't know if you guys saw this from the State Department. Did you see this from the State Department? There was a press conference, and he said to the reporter in the front row, you're playing the Pokemon thing right there, aren't you? And the reporter goes, I'm just gonna keep it open. And later on in the conference, the guy goes, did you catch him? And he was like, yeah, so. But beyond that, I mean, beyond just the fact that it's entertainment, there are real health benefits and there's real social value to what's happening. I know the Guardian called it a national health service. They said, what makes Pokemon GO irresistible is that it's basically a good old-fashioned treasure hunt crossed with a fairy tale, adding up to that parenting holy grail, an excuse to go out in the fresh air and move. So it's actually helping people exercise, do better for their health. Is that something you had planned?
Well, I had done some reading when we were first starting up the group about, and for me personally, I was in a real high-stress job for those 7 years when we were building Google Maps. I mean, you can imagine kind of all the craziness around that as that product kind of exploded and Google and so on. And I was just personally trying to get more relaxed in my life, and I was reading about ways to do that. And as it turns out, walking actually has huge amounts of benefit for you physiologically and mentally. There have been a number of studies about this. There's a great book called Spark about this. It actually makes you smarter, so you think better whenever after you walk. It helps your brain function. That's why a lot of scientists are sort of known for taking long walks in the woods when they're trying to solve hard problems. So we had this idea that if we could incorporate a little bit of that into the app, that people would probably like it. But we certainly didn't want to advertise that as a fitness app or something of that nature. I mean,
Right.
I've got kids. You don't tell your kids that it's good for them. You give them something that tastes good, and it also happens to be good for them. So yeah, we just thought we could roll it in and it would make a really fun product to incorporate that. All right. All right. So let's bring up, we're debuting for you here the leadership of Team Mystic. So you've only seen these guys as silhouettes in the current product, so because maybe we didn't get quite finished before launch day. Maybe. So Blanche for Team Mystic is going to be introduced. This is going to be part of the product. Blanche? Yeah? Okay.
Who else?
Let's see what else we got. This is my team. All right. Let's see the leadership for Instinct. Spark. Yeah, okay. Spark.
And finally, do you have to show the other one?
Is there any? No, there's no Valor people here.
I haven't heard any Valor people.